All right, a lot of things happening right now. This is going to be the sleeve for the sanitary sewer. All right, I won't bore you with this, but this is the process. Just chip it out, and I'm going to shove a pipe in here, so I'll get that afterwards. Okay. All right, now it's time to get the pipe and put it in. See how we did our penetration here. Just put some sand around it for the time being, and when I go in, I'm going to try and leave this spot open when I go to backfill until I get plumbing done. To go about sleeving your utilities, and I unfortunately did not put one in before the footer, so now I'm having to dig underneath it for the water because it has to be 32 or 36 inches deep. I'm just going to go 36, and in this case my footer, underneath my footer is 36 inches. So shame on me. I should have just put it in there before we poured concrete, and then this would be done. But good thing I've got this machine. So now I got to sleeve the water. So I'm looking forward to it, as you can tell. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, I'm just gonna keep doing this. Right about now, I'm contemplating my life and thinking about 3 or 4 different ways that I could have done this. And why I didn't do that. I don't know, but you live and learn. So I was just, thinking, I'll get around to it. So this is where I'm at. Let me flip this camera around for the water tie-in. Got this big pile of dirt right here. A scoop here on the inside going underneath the footer to the outside. So what needs to happen is a shovel and a man need to go down in here and start digging underneath the footer so that he can get a 1 inch, well, this is 3/4 inch, Schedule 40 rigid conduit through to act as a water sleeve. So I'm super excited to be doing this. And like I said, questioning why I didn't do this earlier. So now the question is, yeah, 1/2 inch pipe should fit through this. I might confirm that for PEX. I've got some upstairs before I cover this up and then have to redo it later because it doesn't work. That'd be great. I'm going to confirm that 1/2 inch PEX fits through this. So, all right, I'm going to get digging. Do you see what I see? And that's what you call light at the other end of the tunnel. So, that saying must come from hard work, because let me tell you, I'm glad to see light. That means my digging is done. I'm going to get that PEX and confirm that it fits this sleeve. We'll get it in and backfill it. Keep swinging gravel. Here's the sleeve. It's going to sit down underneath the footer, something like this. And you can see there's a 1/2 inch PEX inside of a 3/4 case. And I'm going to put duct tape around the ends. But this way, it's actually going to sit directly underneath the footer like this. And maybe even back like that. We just want it off the wall about 4 inches. And it'll come up through the concrete slab right there. So, all right, I'm going to get it set, and then I'll put some plastic around it and then backfill it, so that way it'll be easy to locate it later when we do the water tie-in. In the wall, I got my little buddy here. That's just a piece of tape to keep it straight up, parallel. And I can move it a little bit after we get it in. But this is rough in for water. Wasn't too bad after all. Now I just got to backfill and start doing some more gravel. So come here. She's not helping too much. What are you doing? You need a bath. You're kind of stinky. Yeah. You kind of stink. All right. I'm sorry. This is the lazy man's grading. Anyways, this is really hard to do with one hand. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. I piled my gravel back up. I'm thinking we're gonna need some more gravel. I don't know, it looks like it's gonna be very close. I've got one more load that's supposed to be for the driveway, and I wanted to do that later, but if I have to get it now, it's just probably gonna be in the way, and maybe I'll revisit that in a little bit. But oh man, it's gonna be very, very close. There is no such thing as a perfect job. I was wondering when I was going to run into it, and I thought I would hit it when I was doing the footers. There's like glass and stuff all in this dirt. And I believe this is the water line. This is probably a directional drill that they use to get it to the house, and then this is probably a casing for the 2-inch, or the it's a 1-inch water line. So water meter's somewhere down there by the truck, and it's time for some plumbing. So right now I'm just doing some rough layout, and as you can see, we got our 1/8 inch of fall, and I'm starting in the high spot, I suppose we could call it, and I'm just going to fall down to I would say the low spot. I'm going to go ahead, here's my toilet, 12 inches off the inside of the finished wall to the center of the bowl on this. I forget what my measurement is here, 46 inches. I'll have to double check that. Sink is, or tub with a P-trap in the slab is 9 inches off finished wall, and I want to say 14 and a half. And my sink with the vent is going to be inside of the wall. So this one is the less crucial. It's a 3.5 inch wall. Just try and land it dead in the center of the wall. And there's going to be a pipe sticking up. So 245s going over to a sink and a potential washing machine, which is just going to have a cap on it. So I'm going to go ahead and try and catch a time lapse of this. It's not moving very fast, but try and capture some of it. Okay, so you'll see plumbing is done. We've got our air test, which is good. Rear vent, tub, sink, which is going to have a vent. Once the walls are up, it's going to go and connect into that vent. Nice little Y, 2-inch Y going to the tub, 2-inch to the sink. Venting here, venting there at the toilet. Coming down into a 3-inch line. Little 45 elbow there. Into another 45 elbow. And obviously we're dropping. I'd say the grade from the top down to here is a good foot. So there's more than enough movement happening here. Coming down to the kitchen sink, which is going to come up and vent, cutting over here into the sidewall, which is going to catch this eventually. This is a future dishwasher, or not dishwasher, washing machine. If we ever do a washing machine, it'll come over here into the wall and catch that room right there. So nice little 90 into a 45 and drops into like a 30-degree there. Comes over to our external. Now we're outside of the house. We've got our clean out. And I've just got this bucket here so that when I'm operating, if I happen to bump the bucket, it'll notify me hopefully before it hits the pipe. So the center of our toilet is probably the most crucial, and that is 12 inches, at least a minimum of 12 from the string. So if I hold 12 on the string and go straight down the pipe, what I found earlier was I was like 12 and a half, so right there, which is good. Code is 12, so being a little bit bigger, when we go to pour the concrete, I can always nudge it over and stake it. It's just we need 12 inches on the toilet. So now I'm going to come in and cover this pipe with some gravel and very gently backfill, and with the intention of getting it ready for subgrade. Okay, behind me is the graded, ready for insulation foundation. And I'll flip it around. I was able to lay out the porch. I had some gravel left over and just took care of that. What else that's exciting? Did some final grading in front where the porch is. It's still a little wet, so I don't think I'm going to do any more. Let it dry up another day or two, and then make sure my water is going to be falling away. I know it is in the front and the east, but that north corner, I got to do a little bit more. There's some more work that needs to be done, because if not, I'm going to have water pretty much coming down the side of this hill and pouring up against the backside of the building, which could potentially, just depending on how much water, could potentially come up and get onto the slab. We don't want that. In other words, so do not want that. So here is the finished slab, or finished foundation ready for insulation. And there's a couple more things left to do, probably 6 hours total before the pour, and everything's going to be ready for some concrete. If we get some beautiful days like it is today, within a couple weeks, might be able to do it. Otherwise, we'll just wait until the springtime. No rush there. All right, here it is. Sanitary sewer action. My 24-foot line coming down, and it's going to cut over to where the tanks are going to be. So I'm going to go and install some of this pipe. It's really wet and cold and miserable out here, so I'm going to do it kind of quick. Hopefully maybe an hour, be in and out, get it covered up, and get inside where it's warm. So that's my goal for this morning. I had to open up the trench a little bit, ran into some rocks, and also I think the angle that I had chosen wasn't conducive for where I wanted it to land, which is right here. And then the tanks will be somewhere off here. I'll get a coupling on that, probably a repair coupling, because it's going to be easier to come in with the tanks and just line it up. There you have it. Got it all covered up. Nana, what are you doing? It's a muddy, messy day. But here's the end of the of our pipe. I'll just kind of double it up here. That way, you know where it is. So, making small steps. What do you think, Nana? You good? Alrighty. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Time has come to tie in the water line. Oh, hey, it looks like overkill. You got this huge trench. It is kind of overkill. I just have a 2-foot bucket, but got the trench dug out. And now going to identify, here's my stub out, but I just need to clean it up with the shovel and get enough to tie in. I'll probably tie in down here first and then come up here and do my tie in up this way. Got it tied in, as you can see here. I'll straighten this up, but that's the shutoff valve coming out. I just got these clumps of mud here to stick it down and port. Got this cut. No tears or anything on it. Oh, and this is a 3/4 line. What? No. No. That's not good. How is it 1 inch under the house? Crap. I am so glad I checked that before I just cut it. Wow. All right. I need to buy a new tee. I've got pressure on it. And it's hard to tell, but I mean, you would see it squirting out. But what I mean is hard to tell because water was leaking out and around this prior to installation. So I'm gonna have to turn the flashlight on and see if there's any movement in the water. Maybe come out here and dry it before I cover it. But I've got some stuff to cover it, and we don't want any leaks. But there's the water tie-in. It's a muddy mess down here. All right, well, got her done for the day. I'm gonna cover it up and then shut this thing down. Call it a night after I prove that it's ready to roll. So that pretty much wraps up this episode. We'll regroup with the pouring of the slab and cutting it and things like that. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but I'm sure we're going to be doing other things in between there. But that's it for the sub foundation. Might do some shots of the insulation, throw those in here, just depending on when I get that material. So I hope you've enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks, and we'll see you.